Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The City of Greensboro's Solid Waste and Recycling Department has delivered the new 95-gallon yard waste containers to all eligible households. Residents should start using the carts now. Each household received one container unless they opted not to receive a cart. More than 700 residents who purchased a second container prior to April 1st have also received those carts. Second containers ordered after April 1st will be delivered later this spring. Residents can apply the following tips to prepare their yard waste. The weight limit for the new cart is 200 pounds. Discard leaves, branches, grass clippings, weeds, or other naturally occurring materials from plants. Mulch will also be accepted. Do not place plastic bags, animal waste, food, planted pots, rocks, soil, dirt, or any other items in the yard waste container. Personal yard waste containers can be used until June 30th. Additional yard waste containers cost $65. To place an order, call the city's contact center at 336-373-2489. For more information about yard waste collection, visit the city's website. The Housing and Neighborhood Development Department is seeking proposals from qualified consulting firms. They must be skilled in successfully researching, evaluating, facilitating, and preparing plans to affirmatively further fair housing for local governments and for U.S. housing and urban development plans. The selected consultant must conduct the following: analysis of impediments to fair housing, a housing market study, a 2025 to 2029 consolidated plan, and present HUD program standard operating procedures. All plans and studies must be completed with the goals of Housing GSO in mind. The 10-year plan was approved in 2020 to improve access to and the condition of affordable housing in Greensboro. Housing GSO has 4 primary goals: provide affordable rental homes, reinvest in neighborhoods, provide access to home ownership, and provide supportive housing. A virtual Q&A session will be held for interested consultants at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, May 8th. Final proposals are due by 3 p.m. on Monday, May 20th. For more information, contact Shanta Lewis Fleming at 336-373-4636. If you own a historic property or know someone who does and you want to restore it, you may be eligible to receive historic tax credits. This helps to defray the cost and ensure the work meets national preservation standards. As a way to inform residents about the state and federal tax credits, the city's Historic Preservation Commission is hosting a workshop. The meeting will take place at 10 a.m. on Saturday, May 11th at the Greensboro History Museum, located at 130 Summit Avenue. The workshop is free, but registration is required. Mitch Wilds, Restoration Services Branch Supervisor of the North Carolina Historic Preservation Office, will explain how historic tax credits work for both residential and commercial properties. Rebecca Clark, Executive Director of the Piedmont Triad Film Commission, will talk about how to register your historic property for possible use in the production of a TV commercial or movie. Property owners are potential candidates for the tax credits if their property is individually listed in the National Register of Historic Places or it's located in a National Register Historic District. To find out if your property is in a National Register Historic District, enter the address on the city's interactive map. To register for the workshop, call the Greensboro Planning Department at 336-373-2144. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Over 1 in 3 Americans ages 18 and older have prediabetes. What is it and how can you reduce your risks? Prediabetes is when you have a blood glucose or blood sugar level which is higher than normal but not quite high enough to be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You can reduce your risk of prediabetes and prevent it from furthering to type 2 diabetes by several things. One, you can eat a well-balanced diet, which includes fruits, vegetables, calcium-rich foods, whole grains, and protein foods. Also, you could exercise at least 150 minutes a week, which is equivalent to 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And you can also work with a registered dietitian who will help establish long-lasting healthy habits which are specific for you. Individuals who are at a higher risk of becoming pre-diabetic are those that are ages 45 years or older, who also have a BMI or body mass index of 25 or greater. Also, individuals who are 45 years old or younger who have the BMI of 25 or higher, along with high blood pressure or high cholesterol or a history of type 2 diabetes in their family or have a history of inactivity. So there are certain races and ethnicities who are more at risk: African Americans, Native Americans, Asian Americans, Latino, and Pacific Islanders. There are no clear signs and symptoms of prediabetes, which is why it's important to have routine visits with your primary care physician, because you may have it and not know it. When you go to your primary care provider, there are several tests that can be done to diagnose prediabetes. One test is a hemoglobin A1C and having a value between 5.7 and 6.4, or having a fasting blood glucose test done and your value is between 100 and 125 milligrams per deciliter, or having an oral glucose tolerance test done where your 2-hour blood glucose level reads between 140 and 199 milligrams per deciliter. So one thing that comes up a lot with, especially with the exercise, you don't have to do 30 minutes in one lump sum. You can do 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, as long as you're getting that 30 minutes within that 24-hour period. And that can be anything that gets your heart rate pumping. So if it's taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator, you don't have to make a total lifestyle change at one time. You can take small steps by, for instance, if you're skipping meals or if you miss breakfast or miss lunch, try incorporating that meal so that you're getting at least 3 meals a day. Also too, when you go to the shopping center, instead of hunting down that first parking space, you can park farther away, get in some extra steps. It is proven that when you make interventions such as lifestyle change, including changing your eating habits, having a well-balanced diet, increasing your physical activity, you can prolong being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Thank you for joining me. I hope this information has been helpful. To learn more, go to conehealth.com/diabetes. I am Donetta Floyd.
The city's water system has undergone routine preventative maintenance, and the Greensboro 6 will be honored in an artistic way following a national artist search. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The routine water quality preventative maintenance program has ended. This program is facilitated by the water utilities of Archdale, Burlington, Greensboro, High Point, Jamestown, Randleman, Reedsville, and the Piedmont Triad Regional Water Authority. This procedure is used to maintain and optimize the water quality in the city's drinking water distribution system. Greensboro has switched from chlorine back to chloramines, which is a federal and state standard disinfectant for drinking water. The process takes about 5 days. During this time, some users may notice temporary taste or odor differences. This is a normal part of the transition, which does not adversely impact the water quality. Both chlorinated and chloraminated water are safe for drinking, cooking, and other general uses. For more information, visit the city's website or call the Environmental Protection Agency Safe Drinking Water Hotline at 800-426-4791. The nationwide search for an artist to depict the impact of the Greensboro 6 has been narrowed down to 3 finalists. Selected from a pool of more than 50 artists nationwide, the 3 finalists are Vincent Ballantyne of Brooklyn, New York, Ramon Bardwaj of Greensboro, and Abel Jackson of Charlotte. Collectively, they bring more than 80 years of experience while representing a variety of styles and skills. A committee of community representatives and organizations selected the 3 finalists. The outdoor mural slated for installation at historic Gillespie Golf Course is being commissioned by Wyndham Rewards, title sponsor of the PGA Tour's Wyndham Championship. The project will be overseen by the City of Greensboro in partnership with First Tee Central Carolina. Ryan Wilson, CEO of First Tee Central Carolina, said the Greensboro Six left a lasting legacy at Gillespie, one that deserves to be memorialized for generations to come. We want these men to have a permanent place to be celebrated in our community. In 1955, 6 black men led by Dr. George Simpkins started a local movement by defiantly playing golf at the whites-only Gillespie Golf Course. They were arrested, convicted of trespassing, and spent 15 days in jail. 7 years and numerous court cases later, their actions led to Gillespie being desegregated. You can follow the progress of the Greensboro 6 mural project by visiting First Tee's website. The Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department will host the 9th annual Wheels on the Greenway from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday, May 4th. This event is free and centered around Woven Works Park along the downtown Greenway at the intersection of Lindsay Street and Murrow Boulevard. Parking is available at the State Employees Credit Union, although participants are encouraged to roll up to the event on their bikes, skateboards, roller skates, or scooters. All human-powered wheels, e-bikes, and e-scooters are welcome. More than 30 community organizations will be offering free, interactive, and educational activities such as adaptive cycle demos, youth helmet giveaways, a bike repair station, a mini skate park, children's bike safety rodeo, prizes, and much more. Burrow Coffee and Cookies Cafe will be selling refreshments. Wheels on the Greenway is made possible with support from a host of sponsors. For more information about the downtown Greenway, visit the group's website. Guilford Works is inviting employers to the DEI table. Coming up after the break, we'll take you behind the scenes for a preview of the DEI Summit. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Placing emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion to ensure balanced work groups is an area many companies are being more intentional about in an effort to improve the corporate culture. Joining me now to tell us about the upcoming DEI Summit is David Schwebska. He is a business services representative with Guilford Works. Hello, David. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Carla. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're here. Tell us about the purpose of Guilford Works DEI Summit.
Yeah, so when we first got together, we were looking at what Guilford Works offers to our local businesses. And we noticed we just kept kind of putting them in front of the workforce. And so we decided, you know what, we wanted to take a little different approach and talk about how to build that workforce from within, how to have, better morale, and how to keep that workforce. So we naturally turned to DEI. Yep.
Okay, well, with that, that sort of tells us how the summit came about, but what kind of work goes into building something from scratch?
Sure. Once we got the committee formed together, it was, we started talking about the message that we really wanted to provide to those that were in attendance at the summit. And it came evident early on that we had really 3 overarching factors that we wanted to present. And that was, 1, to be informative, secondly, to be educational, but really most importantly, 3rd was to have an open dialogue and to be interactive. We really wanted those discussions that were in the room at that time to be brought back to the office and talked about within those walls, so those efforts can continue outside of the summit.
Okay, now speaking of the summit, when will it take place and how can the community be involved if they want to attend?
Yeah, well, last year's summit, the initial summit happened on July 27th, and we're looking around that same date, so late July, early August. The summit that we had, I'll be honest, I thought we had an all-star cast. So what we have come to find out is that there's so many leaders, especially in Guilford County, that put their efforts into this. So the process now is just identifying those we want to be in attendance and coordinating their schedule. So initially, we're looking at late July, early August.
Okay, so people can pencil that and stay tuned
Absolutely.
for more details. So we'll switch gears a little bit so you can tell us about the work being done by the Clean Energy Council.
Yeah, we're excited about this as well. So Guilford Works was one of 14 workforce boards in the state of North Carolina that was awarded a $35,000 grant by NC Commerce to convene with local and regional businesses and workforce development partners to create councils to talk about the movement in green energy right now. So we had our initial meeting on March 8th of this year, and during that meeting we just spoke about those businesses that were present, what they were facing, what their current needs are, and identifying ways on how to implement and build strategies and initiatives to support their efforts.
Okay, so that sounds like a whole different sector, a workforce sector potentially.
Absolutely. It's growing exponentially right now in North Carolina, and we want to be in the forefront of that and kind of help push it forward.
Fantastic. Now, having heard about that and the DEI Summit, how can folks contact you so they can get more information?
Yeah, great question. They can really go to our website, which is guilfordworks.org, and on that you can contact not only myself, but anyone within the organization.
Okay, well, thank you, David, for stopping by to promote the DEI Summit. I'm sure it will be a huge success. Do come back at some point and let us know the other events happening through Guilford Works.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. These City Council meetings take place in the Katie Dorsett Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Department selected City of Greensboro employee Jody Stanley as one of 4 citizenship ambassadors for 2024. Stanley is the first ambassador chosen from North Carolina, increasing the number of ambassadors to 11. She serves as the city's International Support and Language Access Coordinator. The Citizenship Ambassadors Initiative seeks to make a personal connection to the millions of lawful permanent residents who may not have access to or knowledge of the naturalization process. Born to second-generation missionaries in Bolivia, Stanley moved to the U.S. in 1996 and became a citizen in 2022. Stanley became Greensboro's first International Support and Language Access Coordinator in 2022. In addition to reviving the city's Language Access Program, she also implemented its first pay incentive program to ensure bilingual staff are appropriately tested, incentivized, and trained. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
I'm Dave, and here are some special events happening this week on the town. With a lineup of Samore, Lavelle Crawford, Bill Bellamy, Tony Roberts, and Drankin, you'll be laughing all night at the Greensboro Comedy Festival May 3rd at the Tanger Center. These world-class comedians have the perfect blend of humor and charm, plus their unique style, which means there'll be something for everyone. Get tickets and learn more online at tangercenter.com. Do you have what it takes to be a Jedi Master? Families with Star Wars fans are invited to the Kathleen Clay Edwards Family Branch Library to celebrate Star Wars Day on, you guessed it, May the 4th. The library staff has all kinds of themed activities and books lined up for this free event. Learn more online at greensborolibrary.org. One of the nation's top Led Zeppelin cover bands visits the Sanger Center May 4th. Get the Let Out captures the essence of Led Zeppelin and performs it live on stage. The band offers a strong focus on Zeppelin's early years and has an acoustic set with favorites like Tangerine and Hey Hey, What Can I Do? Get tickets and learn more online at tangercenter.com. Try something new at Demo Day on May 5th at Lake Townsend. All boat rentals, boat launches, and fishing with a valid fishing license will be free. Enjoy food trucks, live music, and various information booths in the parking lot. All ages are welcome. Learn more on the city's website at greensboro-nc.gov. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents, and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Bird Rides Incorporated is providing electric scooters and bikes for rent within city limits of Greensboro. The equipment is available throughout downtown Greensboro and on UNC Greensboro's campus and surrounding areas. The eco-friendly transportation option can be rented through Bird's free mobile phone app. For user safety, Bird recommends riders wear a helmet when operating an e-scooter and e-bike. You must be at least 18 years old to ride either transport. The app designates parking areas to use when the ride is complete. All Greensboro safety guidelines must be followed. Bird wants to make cities more livable by reducing car trips, traffic, and carbon emissions by offering residents without cars another option for transportation. Riders can report issues ranging from maintenance to improper parking, either by using the Bird app or calling the company directly at 866-205-2442. Coming up after the break is our Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Greensboro Police Foundation. Together with GPD, they hosted the grand opening of Safety Town at Barber Park. This is Greensboro's second location. For more than 40 years, Safety Town has provided safety education for 5- and 6-year-olds. They learn lessons on traffic safety, stranger danger, fire, bicycle safety, poisons, water safety, and gun safety. This project is in partnership with the Joseph M. Bryan Foundation and many other philanthropic groups in Greensboro. Way to go, Safety Town. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM, 100.7 FM, and 90.5 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO, plus GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.